here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tek Torrent Podcast. This is podcast number 23 of the year. How is everyone doing? We got a fantastic show for you today. We got all sorts of things to talk about, but the primary thing today is going to be about NVIDIA's 4090 and their adapter causing some grief for our horrible people that are buying the 4090. What will they ever do? It's not like they can afford another one. They only have one kidney, or is it two? Wait, you have two kidneys. They can't afford another one. Also, we're going to be talking about my new house video that just came out. If you haven't seen it, it is the newest video on our channel. And we got some other stuff regarding NVIDIA being kind of sus about it, but then actually doing the right thing, saying, hey, those things that are broken, send them to us and don't tell anyone about it. All that and more on the podcast tonight. Before we get started, I'm going to do a quick roll call on who's here. Let's see. Fixation 500, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining. Aren't you working right now? Man, what a boss. Joining the live stream while he's working. Creating Space, how you doing, guys? Thank you for joining Creating Space. Techman TY, hello, how you doing? Soul7, thank you for being here, and also thank you for being a loyal follower, Soul7. Appreciate it. Tails, how you doing? Thanks for being here as well. New England Crypto, what you doing, man? Man, how is it getting over there? It's been getting cold over here. Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's see. So, Creating Spaces, lightly tap the like button. Hope that's fine. Yes, that is fine as long as you depress it enough to where it activates. That's what matters. Okay. So guys, if my audio or anything like that is too low, or if anything breaks up, let me know. I was having some issues with the system earlier, so just let me know in live chat or DM me or whatever, just in case anything breaks. All right, guys, so I'm going to be reading a little bit here from videocards.com, but essentially what seems to be happening, so as we all know, the 4090 card launched and it cost only one kidney. Thankfully, you have two, so you can buy two. For some reason, I don't know why you would do that. I personally have decided to not go with the 4090s this time. I may go with the 4060 or whatever they call it when it comes out, but I've decided not to feed into the GPU stuff for the 4000 series generation, at least for now. I'm gonna wait because it's a significant investment. It's no longer cheap to do these things, and of course I got a house. So the issues they've been having. Well, so apparently the official name, get this, it's the 12VHPWR power connector is having some issues. So for those of you that don't know, basically what's been happening is the connection between the connector and the card right there has been burning and melting and smoking and doing all sorts of bad things. And you of all people and me of all people would know that once you let the smoke out of the electronics, it no longer works. That's right, folks. That magic smoke, if it gets out, doesn't work anymore. So that's what's been happening. And apparently it's not because of the 12VHPWR connector. No, it's actually apparently because of the adapter supplied by NVIDIA. They even have like a guide on how to bend it, how not to bend it, all this stuff. So put it into a nutshell, then we'll get really deeply into it, guys. There's four connectors, 4 8-pins going into it, right? And there's 4 sense wires telling it, okay, which connectors are connected, which allows to draw more or less power. You can actually run it without all 4 engaged. It'll just power limit the card. So these 4 8-pin connectors choke down into a set of connectors going, they're pretty thick. They're allegedly 14 American gauge cables going right into the connector. And on the connector, there's actually a bridge. So there's the pins that go into the card, and then there's the wires coming from your adapter going to like a bridge type thing that's been soldered onto pads, and then those things are what connect the pin that gets inserted into the card. Now, right there's where they've been having problems. So on some of the connectors, the solder job has been pretty poor. It looks kind of weird. So like with these type of things, generally it's like mass manufactured, right? A machine does it, but if you take these connectors apart, some of them look pretty poor. They don't look that great. So NVIDIA has actually set out a guide and all that, like don't bend it too close, because remember, these cables are really thick, right? But that thick cable gets choked down into this little bridge with these little tiny tabs. There's 4 tabs on each side. So what can potentially happen is if there's too much stress on the cable right at that connecting point, the solder points can get broken or moved or not connected correctly, which would cause the current to flow through a smaller path. And we know what happens when you squeeze things down on like a tube, on like a water hose, the pressure goes up. And that pressure, the amperage going through that small space, that less amount of metal to flow through, that creates heat. And when the heat goes too high, it creates more resistance. And what do we get? Thermal runaway. And what do we get with that? A melted connector. And of course, your 4090 is now dead. Thank you very much. Please buy another one. We know you have 2 kidneys. And that is basically what's been happening. So how do I get into this? Before I get into it, let me check live chat, guys. Let me know what you think about what's going on with the 4090 4-pin adapter cable and all that good stuff. Let me know in live chat what you guys think. Let me know what you think NVIDIA should do, and what do you think about the whole situation of NVIDIA finally doing something about, which I will get into in a moment. All right, let me just take a look at live chat real quick, and actually did not silence my phone, so I'm going to do that right now because, you know, millennial, forgot to do that. All right, let's take a look here. So we got Fixation said, fire, fire, fire. Yes, basically that's what NVIDIA is saying. Let's see, TekShinji, you got it, dude. Yep. New crypto, the new ASIC is help keeping us nice and warm. Yes, I got a bunch of cards heating my house right now too. Fixation 500 says, I'm going to pick up a 4090 after kidney in the jar finishes growing. That's great. I love that one. New England Crypto says the magic smoke is put in at the factory. It can only come out once. That is correct, guys. That's why when you drop electronics, it'll crack and the smoke escapes. And then it doesn't work anymore. That's, if you guys didn't know, that's exactly why it happens. Techman TY says they use Apple excuse. You're holding it wrong. Oh yeah, okay. So those of you that don't know, not people here, but those watching later or whatever, if you're watching the rerun or whatever, a long time ago when Apple, I forget what generation, was it 10? No, it wasn't 10, it was older than that, 7, 8, whatever. Basically the outer case was the antenna for the phone, and if you held it a certain way, it would bridge it, and then it wouldn't really work very well. It would bridge the antenna with the case or something, and Apple was basically claiming that people were holding the phone incorrectly, and that's why it wasn't working, not the fact that they engineered it badly. So yes, Techman TY, you are absolutely correct. Fixation 500 says they don't push the connector against the glass. They say don't push the connector against the glass. I'm not exactly sure what reference that is. You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Fixation. Creating Space says water cool the connector. You know, I almost want to do that just for the meme, but by the time I get around to that, which will be about a year or two from now, the next generation cards will be out. This would have been fixed. Let's see. Techman 2 may have been 4. Yeah, iPhone 4. It sounds about right. It's a pretty old one. It's been a while since that's been. I mean, I even remember that one. New England Crypto says, creating space. Have you seen the new water-cooled ATX PSUs? Careful with that one. I don't know about a water-cooled ATX PSU. If it is water-cooled, it could be, I don't know, I'll have to look into it, but there's been times in the past where we've had like water-cooled RAM, and the heatsink was water-cooled, not the RAM chips themselves. So you like have water in it, but it's not actually flowing or touching the chips directly. I mean, I guess it is technically water-cooled, it's just not in the traditional sense. Let's see, Techman TY Tains. Oh, hey Tains, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. I talked to you earlier. I hope your PDU repair is going well and you don't have any more buzzing with that switch. Thank you for coming by to the live chat, by the way. And for those of you that don't know, we do have a Discord, and in our Discord, I hang out all the time, and you can always talk to me there. It is linked in the description below. If one of my mods do not mind posting it in live chat as well. And if you're watching this video after the fact on a rerun, it is also linked in the description below. Come join it. We'll see you there. Let's see. Fixation 500 says cases are too small and the cables are bending against the glass when you close them up. Oh yes. Okay, that makes sense. So basically what happens is you make this thing, you close all the panels, and actually this is very, what case was it? Well, specifically cards where the case is like this. So there's the GPU and the lid goes like that, the side panel. I've actually run into that a few times where I had to get a 8-pin right angle adapter to make that clearance, and those things are sketchy too, but it allowed me that extra like 5 millimeters of clearance that I needed to make it. Let me just make sure my phone isn't exploding. What's going on here? Oh, thank you, New England Crypto, for sending this to me. So apparently it is this almost looks like a SFX PSU. It's got some weird connectors on it. So it is a FSP Hydro PTM 850 watt liquid cooled PSU. And it basically, I could show you guys, let's see here. I'll just show you on the phone. That's what it looks like. Apparently that is what it is, but looks like there's just a water block on it, and I don't know. I really don't see the point in water cooling your PSU. Just kind of like how an M.2 drive doesn't really need to be water cooled, because you don't get any real world performance benefits. That's the reason, guys. Not that saying water cooling doesn't work, but rather if you're not going to get any difference in performance, like noise or whatever, then it, it's kind of a waste. That money could have been spent on a better graphics card, for example. Crypto Tito, thank you for joining. How you doing, man? Mr. Norris, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream. Let's see, Soul7, thank you very much for linking that. Appreciate it. New England Crypto, TekShinji just DM'd you on Discord. I picked the liquid cooled. Yes, I just saw that. Thank you very much. Let's see. PDU. Okay, Tane says the PDU has been tested and is working fine. Already put it to work. Yeah, Tane's was replacing the power switch on his PDU earlier, which was kind of cool. He allegedly got it. It was getting thrown out, so all he had to do was replace the switch, which is pretty sweet. Golden Wolf says, good evening from Seattle, USA. Hey, Golden Wolf, thank you for joining. A long time. It's been a while, dude. Yeah, Seattle. Yeah, I love Seattle. I used to go there once a year, but I no longer do because reasons I'll explain in a later video or in the Discord. But I used to go there for a convention, which I'll not name, that was happening in Seattle once a year, but they have recently changed their policies and treating us differently, which I did not appreciate. All right, guys. So yeah, let's get into the thing from video cards. So according to them, this is what they got. I'm reading directly off their site. Why NVIDIA's 12V-HPWR, rolls right off the tongue, adapter is having issues. The problem is not the 12V-HPWR connector, nor repeatedly plugging in or unplugging, okay? It appears to be that the issue is splitting each of the 14 American wire gauge leads into each of the 6 pins of the 12, oh my god, I'm not going to read this anymore, connector of the microfit connector of the adapter by soldering them into bridges that are much too thin is dangerous because the ends of the leads can break off at the solder joint when kinked or bent several times. Okay, I'll try to get a picture of that if I can. But essentially what's been I would show you on the computer, but I have some issues with it and I don't want to break anything. What's been happening is that when people plug these in, give me 1 second, guys. Connector melting. Let's see, a 16 pin, right? Where, I had pictures of this and now it's totally gone. There was a good picture that a few YouTubers did where they cut it open and they showed the actual very thin bridge there. I'm trying to find that specific picture. All right, I'll find it at a later time. But essentially what we got is, so imagine my fingers are the bridge and then these are the wires. The wires are basically like on that, like this, right? So it's like that, and then they solder them on, and then if you bend it too many times they can break off like that. Then guess what, all the current has to flow through the rest of these connectors, and that means they're handling more amperage than they were designed to, and it's already thin to begin with. You got to remember that the 16 pin connector is nearly identical the size of a standard 8-pin, so we're fitting double the amount of pins in almost the same amount of space, which, I mean, it's great for space savings and whatever, but honestly, like, I don't know why they did that, because these cards have not been getting smaller. Okay, my GPU from 10 years ago and the GPU today are two totally different sizes. It's like, you look at a GPU back then, it was like maybe, I don't know, half card and half heatsink. Nowadays, it's like 80% heatsink and 10% card, and, you know, another 10% the rest of my kidney or something. You know, it's the cards are getting bigger, so I don't know why they need a smaller connector. Maybe it's cheaper to manufacture. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe NVIDIA is trying to pull an Apple and make it go through proprietary. So it says bending or kinking the wires directly at the connector of the adapter puts too much pressure on the solder joints and the bridge, so they can break off. The inner bridge between the pins is too thin, just like I was saying, resulting cross-section to compensate for current flow on 2 or 3 instead of the 4 connected 12-volt lines. So it's the type of thing where we have like a bus bar and we have like 4 things feeding it power. If one of these things were to break, right, the bus bar now has to feed power through the 3 instead of the 4. And when it comes to electricity and electronics, the amount of power flowing, the voltage is not as important as the amperage. The amperage is where it gets you guys, which is, you could think of amperage as like the flow rate, right? And pressure is like the voltage in water. So high pressure is like the voltage, and the flow rate, how much flow is going through, is the amperage. Kind of like how a Mack truck can go 12 miles an hour, but getting hit by a Mack truck's gonna hurt because it's not gonna stop. It's just gonna flatten you into a pancake. Getting hit by, I don't know, an airplane at 12 miles an hour, like a paper airplane, okay? Paper airplane at 12 miles, it has very little mass, right? So it has very little flow, it has very little amperage, even though it's going at the same speed. That is the type of thing that's happening. So when you're trying to push all that current through less than designed area, that's where the heating comes from and causing the connectors to fail. Let's take a look at the live chat, guys. Let's see here. What's going on here? Oh, Crypto Tito. Oh, you're making more hot cocoa. Man, I want to get some hot cocoa. I actually need to order more cocoa balls from you. Cocoa bombs. Sorry, not balls. Cocoa bombs from you. It's that time of the year. I actually need to send you a bunch of money so you could send me some. I totally forgot to get mine for this year. By the way, if you guys don't know, she makes awesome cocoa bombs. Let's see. Creating Space. Shinji was reading through live chat and said, "What's up, man?" I think he was just rushing through. LOL. What? Did I miss something here? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Let's see. Did I say? Oh, Crypto Tito? No. Did I say what's up, man? I'm so sorry. Man is. Oh God, I actually got in trouble. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" to somebody, and they did not identify as a man, and it actually caused me a lot of issues. So I got to be careful about that now that you guys mention it. Oh, Yashnik is here. What are you doing, Yashnik? Man, what's going on? Is it really boring over there? Man, what are you doing here? What are you doing here at this time of the night? How you doing here, Yashnik? If you guys don't know, Yashnik is a awesome individual. He organizes the poker tourneys that you probably see me in the live streams on DC Adventure and whatnot. He is really awesome despite his bald head and all that. He's really awesome, guys. He works really hard to make these poker tournaments happen. He does a lot of work in the background, and we can't thank him enough. Thank you so much for all the work you do, Yashnik. Remember, guys, the next poker tourney is happening next month, and I forgot the exact date. I think it's the 4th. Next month. No, it's not the 4th. It's the 12th. Remember, we're having the next poker tournament on the 12th. So make sure you guys get signed up, download PokerStars, and get all that set up so you can join. Let's see. New England Crypto says, creating space, 120 subs with no video. Sus. I actually asked Creating Space about that, how it was kind of suspicious, and they later explained to me, which I'll not go into detail, why that is the case. He can explain it here if he likes, or explain it in our Discord, but it made sense after he told me what happened, or why that happened, rather. Let's see. Crypto Tito. Wow, Crypto Tito's really active in the chat today. Awesome. Techman TY, just don't call the welding teacher Bubba. He goes nuts. The welding teacher Bubba? Is this a reference from a movie or something? I actually do not know. I do not know what it's from. Soul7 says, please smash that like button. Smiley face. Yes, please smash it, guys, or lightly depress it, whichever you prefer. We do not discriminate on how you press the button as long as you depress it and make it activate. We got 16 people watching right now and only 9 likes. What is going on, guys? Everyone smash that like button, right? We gotta smash it. Smash it to pieces. New England Crypto says, Crypto Tito, CocoBalls.com. Oh my god, I really hope that's not a thing. That sounds weird. That sounds really weird. I'm not gonna go to that website, guys. I am not gonna do that. Alright, guys, so yeah, I found some pictures of it. Let me see if I could try to, let's see here, if I could try to get the desktop screen to show. Yeah, I can't. I don't have it set up correctly. I wasn't planning on showing any desktop pictures today, so I won't be able to show that. But yeah, it just looks really bad how the connector is set up. And luckily, NVIDIA is saying to all of their AIB partners to go ahead and return these if they're causing issues. CableMod has came out with a right angle adapter to try to fix this issue, and I really think NVIDIA does need to fix this, because I mean, think about it this way: you just bought a Mercedes-Benz, you drive it home, and freaking it, like, the engine explodes because they forgot to put oil in it. No, it's engineered bad. So you drive it home, and as you're driving it, the engine, seizes up because there's a little tiny galley where the oil flows through, and that got clogged up because it couldn't handle the flow rate, so the engine wasn't getting enough oil, whatever, something like that. Imagine something so basic that, I mean, come on, guys, graphics cards take electricity since the beginning of time that it was created, right? I mean, electrical engineering should be something NVIDIA has down by now, in my opinion. It's not a startup, it's a billion-dollar company, okay? They should know how to do this by now, in my opinion. Let's see here. Oh, Junkie Cosmonaut, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining the live stream, and thank you for also being a TekShinji loyal follower. That is why you get that special icon by your name. Thank you so much, buddy. Let's see. Techman TY says, yeah, I did that when I was a teenager. He picked me up one-handed and dragged me down the hall. True story. I don't understand. Oh, okay. So you're telling me you called your welding teacher that, and then he picked you up and drugged you down the hall. Drug me. Drug? Is it drug or drag? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's dragged. Whatever. Yeah. Please activate that like button. That's right, guys. Wow, chat is actually active this evening. This is not something I am used to. Fixation 500 says, I would not click that link. Yeah, I wouldn't click it either. I don't know what's in it. All right. For those of you that don't know, creating space is someone mysterious. Who is it? We might never know. You'll have to join our Discord to find out. Let's see here. There we go. They fixed that. So creating space says, NVIDIA did not pioneer the connector. They were just the first to implement it. That is absolutely correct, guys. Let me actually get into that. So NVIDIA did not make the connector. Let me repeat that. NVIDIA did not make the connector. They made the board and all that stuff, but the actual connection for PCIe 5, or whatever you want to call it these days, is actually made by something called PCIe SIG. Not to be confused with Sig Sauer, which is something totally different, which I'm a big fan of, allegedly. So PCIe SIG is actually a proprietary thing. Like, it's not supposed to be, like, you have to actually pay to. Anyways, so PCIe SIG is the one that made the connector, and NVIDIA is using that standard. But NVIDIA is responsible for the adapter, and that is what the problem is happening with. It's where the problem is rooting from, is their adapter. Let's see here, guys. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, Duro Poker Tournament. Yep, the Duro Poker Tournament. I forget what it's exactly called, but yeah, that's happening real soon. Anyways, guys, if you have any other questions about the NVIDIA 4090 series burning up and all that, let me know in the live chat before we move on to our next topic. Just gonna have some water real quick. And I'm actually gonna open the door because it's getting kind of warm in here. That's right, guys. It is like 50 degrees outside and this room is getting warm. There's not much airflow in here. There's no vents. And the windows, well, they can be opened, but I choose not to because they cause issues when I open them. All right. Tails. I can't believe 4090s are catching on fire. You literally can't make this S up. No, you can't. They're... Well, okay, technically the connectors are catching on fire, then causing a runaway thermal effect, which is damaging the card. The card itself is not catching on fire, right? Just the connection point. That's where it's actually catching on fire. So, it's not completely the card's fault. I mean, you could say, well, it's drawing a lot of power, yes, but the connection point right there is where the failure is currently. I really hope cards don't catch on fire. That would be way more catastrophic in my opinion, because that's a lot of energy, man. That's a lot of heat potential. Let's see. Y2K Anonymous, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. Yo, what's going on with you party people? Yes, we are having a party. This is where we're having the good party. New England Crypto says, every time I see that chair, I get jelly. Yeah, it's kind of nice, man. It is pretty nice. So it is a Secret Labs chair, and this is the Cloud9 edition. This is actually like it's like a patch, right? Here, let me hold it the right side. It's like a patch, and it goes right here. Right here is actually all Velcro, and you can actually put your own name and logo and stuff right there. So when you're gaming and stuff, they can see your name. I'm actually gonna put this a little higher, kind of like that. So I don't have my own patch or name made yet, so I just have the Cloud9 there. It came with the chair, and this is actually a Cloud9 themed chair. It's the back of it's blue and all that good stuff. It's a good chair. Now, as for the price, it's like $500, so maybe not that much for the chair, I think. So this is based off those stupid racing chairs. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's based off the racing chairs. And I don't know about you guys, but when you're gaming, you are not being thrashed around like in a car, okay? You don't need to be restrained in your chair and your movement restricted, all right? You're not racing a vehicle. You're sitting down doing one of the most physically less demanding. You're moving your arms a lot maybe in your head, but you're not physically being physically moved. That's why I don't really care about the design, but it's comfortable. I mean, I got it mostly because it looks good on camera, I'll be honest, and I didn't want to pay the extra money for a Herman Miller or any of those chairs. Wait, the pillow. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me do that because oh yeah, it's also the newer ones from Secret Labs are magnetic. So there's a kind of like a magnet in here. Do I have anything metal? I think this is metal. Yeah, so there's a little bit right there. You see that? It just attached. That's where the magnet is, right there. And there's actually a metal strip in the back of the chair right here where it attaches. So I usually keep it upside down like that to piss off Andrew, and I will put it back the way I had it for that reason. Let's take a look at chat real quick. Tails, how come I don't know you? I've never seen you before. Thank you for being here, by the way, Tails. I don't know, it seems very familiar. Is it Tails from something or another channel? I don't know if I talked to you somewhere, but thank you for being here, by the way. Let's see. Techman TY says, honestly, I thought the 3000 series were going to have the same issue. The 3070 FE only uses 6 of the pins, but uses 115 watts when underclocked. Yep, that is possible. The power requirements with the connection, I guess it's under the wattage, or maybe because you got to look at the cable going into it. It's pretty darn thick. So there's the argument that because of how thick it is, it's less flexible, and that could be causing a lot of stress on the solder points, and then that could be the thing that's causing it to fail, which yes and no, but in my opinion, they should have just made it better to begin with. They should have spent more money on a better connector, or manufactured it better, more accurately. New England Crypto says it weighs like 80 effing pounds. I carried it when he moved it. What are we talking? Oh, the chair. Yes. One thing I like about the chair is that it's very heavy and it's very good. It's very nicely weighted. It feels really sturdy. The arms are adjustable. I really like it. It's actually a good chair. I like it quite a bit. Let's see here. Y2K Anonymous. So no cochlear implants. No, I actually do not have a cochlear implant, contrary to popular belief. I just can't hear very well. My younger brother is actually deaf, so there's that. He actually, so this is one thing I did not, what time is it? Yeah, we got time. So a little side bit going off into the etherverse or whatever. So I actually have a younger brother that is hard of hearing. And for the longest time, I was wondering why he just didn't go for a cochlear implant, right? Because then he could live a normal life. Oh, normal life, right? And one thing I didn't realize was that if you try to make everyone that is differently abled the same as you are effectively trying to force others to be what you consider normal, which can lead into other things. So there's a whole like deaf culture and deaf community that I did not know existed, and it's in-depth and big. There's even deaf YouTubers that do like action sports and stuff and talk about like GoPros. They do reviews. There's a lot of deaf culture. So to say something like that is in a roundabout way saying you're not like me, you should be more like me because I'm normal and you're not. And I used to think this for the longest time, actually. Like, why don't deaf people just get cochlear implants? Why don't blind people just be able to, like that? Like, it's not that simple, guys, and I didn't realize that. But yeah, but I do not have a cochlear implant, and my younger brother does not either. He doesn't want one. He says he doesn't want to become like that or something. I'm not exactly sure his reasoning. He kind of told me he didn't want to be a robot, which, I mean, I guess you become kind of cyberized. You become kind of a cyborg. You have a computer. You have a device that helps you hear. Tails says, I cloned your water-cooled design once and we chatted about it. All good, man. You have good content. I'm heed to the... Oh, hey, that's awesome, Tails. I'm glad you cloned it. I hope you cloned it the best way possible, because sometimes I don't make the best thing. But like, for example, my rainbow rig, that's actually what you saw on YouTube was revision 3. There was a lot of steps to get to that point. Well, I made a lot of mistakes and learned a lot. Trading Space says the connector seems fine, but the adapter is a weak link. Yes, the adapter, very specifically the adapter from NVIDIA, that is the one that's causing issues. I'm sure Cable Mod and all those companies, and maybe even EVGA, I actually have an EVGA 16-pin microfit to a 8-pin connector floating around somewhere. I think it's in my streaming PC that I haven't built yet. Don't ask about that one. It's a pretty decent cable. I like it. It's the connector seems fine, but the adapter, the solder connection, and the thickness of the cable and the lack of flexibility. Of course, a lot of people bend their cables to make it fit in the case. They usually can't have it coming straight out, especially when NVIDIA put it on like a stupid spot instead of like on the end of a card where it's more practical. New England says making content equals always learning. That is right, guys. One thing I've really learned about making content was the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, and that you excuse me. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, and that the most important thing is that you remain humble and that you're always willing to learn new things and new tricks. So, like, for example, TikTok and Shorts. I was kind of resistant to that at first, but guess what? That's the way of the world, and that's the way we're going. So of course I adapted and I tried making my own shorts and stuff, and of course they miserably failed, but you know, that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is that as you learn about a certain thing like photography, videography, content creation, you also learn more, and that it's really important to not have such a big head to where you think someone brand new to the space can't input ideas that are unique and valuable. So if someone new comes along that's never made a video before, but they go, why don't you do it this way? I usually try to listen, because their lack of experience in the way that I learned, but they're learning in a new way, right, for the modern era, might actually breathe some life into a new idea that might be creative enough to where it would latch on. So you'd really never know what you know until you learn, of course. And it's always important to stay humble and always be willing to learn new information. Let's see here. All right, guys. So yeah, that's all I'm going to really talk about regarding the connector. We're going to move on to our next topic, which is my new house video. And then we're just going to go into an AMA, and that'll be it for the night. By the way, guys, I am going to be doing some gaming after the stream if you guys want to join and hang out. Love to play StarCraft if anyone wanted to join for that. I'm going to try to do this like a weekly thing every evening after gaming, after stream. I'm going to go into the Discord, in our Discord, linked in description as well, and in the live chat, and do some gaming with you guys, hang out if you guys want to come and hang out. Tails, if you want to join our Discord and tell me about your water-cooled setup, because I recall talking to you from a while ago. I can't remember exactly why, though. I don't know why you're in the back of my head. I want to see what your setup is and what you got going there. If you're still here, that is. All right. So, Junkie Cosmod says you don't really know a topic until you have to teach it. That is 100%. Okay, so I actually had to teach people how to do crowd management and safety and like security, and I actually learned a lot from teaching others on how to do it for like conventions and stuff, and training new people on, you know, how to deal with others, de-escalation tactics and stuff. You know, you really do learn a lot teaching other people how to do things. Let's see here. Oh god, that is great. New England Crypto says shorts and reels are the stupid future. I mean, the future. I love that. That is 100% accurate. I know I'm a millennial, and you know, we're not young anymore. We're all like in our 30s now. I know that us millennials are probably kind of more into it than others, but I totally don't like them, because I feel like so I say I don't like them, but I watch them every night before I go to sleep. So talk about hypocrite, right? Yep. Junkie Cosmo, unfortunately. Yep, that's right. New England Crypto says no pay to earn. No play to earn for TekShinji? No play to earn. What does that even mean? No play to earn. Do you mean, oh, you mean the games that pay crypto as you play, right? Yeah, I haven't really looked into that much, actually. I'm not really sure what all that's really about. I mean, I'd be willing to check it out, but I probably don't want to promote something like that in the stream. This channel, I'm trying to convert it away from crypto. I actually created a new channel that you guys are just gonna have to find organically. I'm not gonna advertise or tell anyone. I'm gonna let it grow all by itself, where, you know, I make mining videos and stuff, and it's gonna be active real soon, and I'm not gonna advertise it. I'm not gonna tell anyone. It's gonna be very, very low key. There's gonna be very little editing involved, but you'll have to find it on your own. I'll just give you a hint to the name of the channel, and it's something that I always used to say during the boom. It's so it's three words. One of them being not a complete. It's just 2 letters. It's just 3 words. And that's the name of the channel. If you guys go find it, you guys can watch it, but it's gonna be pretty low-key stuff. Yeah, all right, guys. So let's move on to my house video. So if you guys don't know, I recently became a homeowner, and I'm actually streaming to you from my new home. So, Creating Space, thank you very much for linking that in the chat, by the way. That is our new video, most recent one that came out, and it's a tour of our house, of the new studio. So I bought this house with cryptocurrency and Ethereum. I did, like, it was actually like I cashed out right before this recent crash. I got so lucky, guys. Like, I was so worried that I made a mistake, but I cashed out a good significant portion of all the Ethereum and cryptocurrency I've mined over the years since 2017. And with that, I put a down payment on the house. So you know how much a down payment it is? It's usually between 3 and 20%. I'm not gonna tell you how much it was because that's none of your business, but it was a significant chunk. And basically I, cashed out and I let it season for 3 months, and then it was clean money, so to speak. Of course, you still got to pay taxes and all that good stuff, which I'm going to have to deal with at the end of the year, which is only in, 2 months now. But I used that to help buy the house, moved into it, and New England Crypto and Creating Space actually came up and helped me move into this house. And I'm so grateful for them to coming all the way up here and helping me out. They worked really hard, guys, and they're really good people. They say you know who your true friends are when you pay them the no, I'm joking. You know who your true friends are when you need help moving or moving a body, right? So luckily it wasn't a body, it was moving, and they came up and helped me, so I really did appreciate that. And couldn't have done it without those guys, so I really do appreciate what they've done for me. Yeah, guys, so the house is great. It turned out to be a lot less of an issue for a lot of things than I thought, because I actually had a structural engineer come by and analyze the place and look at everything. And kind of like his words, the bones are good, but it needs a lot of work. So, for example, the roof absolutely needs to be replaced. It is one of those roofs you look at and go, how the hell is that not leaking? It is currently not leaking. So, leaking. It's currently not leaking. So, that is good. That's another video that's, I'm working on it because it takes so darn long with Tesla Solar. And that's going to be another exciting video where I talk about my journey of getting Tesla Solar. And I'm actually about halfway through the process. I think I got another year left before they actually show up to my house and install it. Let's see here. Also, all the windows need to be fixed, upgraded, whatever you want to call it. They're all like single pane windows from 1940s. The electrical panel needs to be upgraded. If you watch the video, guys, you'll see that the electrical panel definitely needs to be upgraded. It has, it's old. It's got some safety concerns, which allegedly that is getting done next week. I've waited 6 darn months. Okay, no, more than 6. What are we now? Yeah, about 6 months. I scheduled this in April, and I'm so angry. But essentially, they dragged their tail. Then they canceled on me 5 minutes before they were going to show up on the day 3 months ago. Oh, man, if I could choose a different path of life, I would be some kind of a home repair business, like a general contractor, electrician, because you could be horrible at your job, piss off all your customers, and you'll never be out of business. There's just that much. It's just so hard to find anyone to do anything unless you pay a bunch of money. The quotes I got for my electric panel upgrade were like $12,000, $5,000, $8,000, and I'm like, how much? What? How come I just can't do this myself? I actually seriously consider. I did find an electrician that would be doing it for a better price. It wasn't the cheapest, it wasn't the most expensive, but also I guess I can't complain because they canceled 5 minutes. They didn't show up. Oh, it's a whole discussion I'll get into later. But I don't want to drag on this live stream too long. Let's see here. Let's check out live chat. Ben Z310 says taxes. Shh. Ben Z, thank you for joining the live chat. 310. I'm not exactly sure what that means, Ben Z. But yes, but taxes are a thing that I am a proud American to do. Okay. As a proud American, I love paying my taxes, and that is my official statement. Techman TY says Samuel Jackson has an efficient moving service. Samuel Jackson, isn't that actor? I'm not exactly sure what the reference is. You're gonna have to explain that one to me. Was that from Pulp Fiction or something? I'm not exactly sure. Benzi says it's not old, it's vintage. Yes, I say in the video that it's a 1903 vintage, and it is a really nice colonial house. In fact, the thumbnail, that is a 3D rendering of the house. If it were to be the only thing different between that 3D rendering in the thumbnail and my actual house is the chimney. The chimney is internal to the house, not on the side like that. Other than that, it's basically identical. Pulp Fiction. Oh man, so I'm gonna have look. Okay, nothing against people that like the movie or whatever the dude's name. Tarantino, right? Tarantino, whatever. No offense, but it was just not my thing, right? It was like out of order. It was hard to follow, and I just don't know why some. Okay, look, don't cancel me, guys. Don't at me, all right? I just don't like the movie. Okay, I get it. Like I get some people like it, but something about that movie, I just can't handle it, man. It's just out of order. In one scene, you know, these bad guys are doing something very inappropriate to one of the people. In another scene, these other people are getting killed. In another scene, they're alive again. I mean, I just didn't get the story and like the draw of the movie. I really didn't understand. So that was one thing that I really did not get with that movie. But it's I heard it's very good. I've watched most of it, but I can't really remember like any of it. Sure, there's a lot of YouTube clips on the internet for that. Creating Space says unsub, guys. Unsubbed because I said I didn't like Pulp Fiction. Hashtag canceled. Techman TY says it was all good until the last 10 minutes. Is that when the inappropriate things were happening that I will not discuss or talk about on a live stream ever? I might in the Discord, but not here. It was very inappropriate. I'll just say that much. It was not consensual. Cosmonaut Junkie says, "Rest in peace, Shinji." Oh my God, everyone's gonna unsub from me now. Just like when Linus said, "Trust me, bro." Do you guys know about that one? If you guys don't know, Linus basically made a backpack and he basically said he would back people 100%. Just trust me. But it was so ambiguous as to what it was. There's a lot of backlash, and then he made a shirt that says, "Trust me, bro." Now, I understand why Linus did that. I've been basically following Linus, I don't know, since 8 years ago, 7 years ago, before he got super big. I was following him before he was 100,000 subs, so he always has been basically the same. And now that he's a big business with like 80 people, like you gotta change, right? You can't do certain things that you used to do when you're a small YouTube channel. And I think that's kind of what has happened, that he's kind of retained a lot of those qualities and personalities and stuff. But now that you're a big channel, actually making money off selling things to people, you kind of go into a different space where you got to be a little bit more mature. I wouldn't say that. You got to be a little bit different. You got to do business differently, and you can't just tell people to trust you, right? Because it's what, a trust but verify, as we say with certain countries with their reaction programs of mass reaction. I'm not gonna say the word. Tane says, "Time to get canceled." LOL. Dude, if I'm gonna get canceled, I'm gonna get canceled because I don't like certain things like Naruto. I don't like One Piece. I don't like those animes that have more than 500 episodes. Sorry, cancel. Don't at me. At me on Twitter or something. I don't like those things. Yeah, so anyways, guys, the new house is going great. It's in much better shape than I thought. I do want to play some games tonight. We're getting into the 1 hour mark. So if you guys have any questions for me, any final questions right here at the end of the stream, just let me know in the live chat. I'll be checking that in a moment. There's about a 30-second delay, so I'll take a look at that in a little bit. So let me know if you have any questions or comments or concerns about what's going on. Again, thank you so much to New England Crypto. And okay, so let me also say thank you to his wife and his family. They are superstars. Okay, so when you have children, when you have kids, when you have a family, when you need to borrow the husband, you're not just borrowing the husband, you're also borrowing the entire family. Let me explain. In order for New England to help us, he had to organize on his end, his wife taking care of the kids, right? And his family taking care of the, there's like a lot of logistics that happen in the background in order for me to take him for 2 days, right? So thank you so much to Stella and his family, his wife Rachel, and everyone there. They were awesome, and I really couldn't have done it without him. He drove all the way up here. For reference, it's like a 2.5 hour trip. He drove his big truck up here. We loaded it up, and we got a lot of stuff done in 2 or 3 trips, I think. So he helped out a ton. Like, I couldn't have gotten this done in time with that little stress. I mean, they also helped me put things in the basement. Like they really helped me, and I can't appreciate it enough. Like they're really good people, and there's not a lot of people like that are out there these days that have the heart and the decency and the respect of helping others like that. So I really give a big shout out to them. So link your channels in the description and tell people to get subbed and check them out. In the description, sorry, in the live chat. Let people know that your channels exist so they come sub to you guys, because you guys deserve it. You guys are awesome. Let's take a look at live chat. Soul 7. Okay, Soul 7, you are now banned forever. I'm gonna kick you out. Cancel Evangelion? No! Evangelion is like my absolute favorite animes. Just if you guys didn't know. No, we are not doing that, okay? No, okay? It's not because I'm named after the main, character that's a big wussy, all right? No, it has nothing to do with that, all right? It's not because we share the same name. It has nothing to do with that. Creating Space says, what is the next piece of gear for the studio? Okay, so I've actually thought about this. Wow, this chair's like squeaking. So I actually thought a lot about this. So the next major capital investment for the studio is actually just gonna be my time. So let me explain. As a content creator on YouTube over, a year now, right? 2 years. I've learned that putting in the time is worth much more than any single piece of equipment. And I've kind of had it backwards from the photography world, where essentially, I used to do I still do actually, professional photography. I would show up with a small camera and they get unimpressed and they'd never call me back. So that kind of fed into gear acquisition syndrome, otherwise known as gas. And so for the studio, I'm just going to be investing more of my time. Now that I'm moved in, the house is somewhat in a safe place, stable place. I got things scheduled, things are getting fixed. I got new technologies. I got a heat pump water heater. I got a heat pump dryer, which is even more rare. And they both work amazingly great. I love them both. They're awesome. I would love to talk about them in videos and stuff. Let me know, if you guys are watching this after the fact in comments or whatever. But yeah, they're absolutely amazing pieces of equipment. As for the studio, it's going to be my time. And as for like physical equipment, I'm thinking about a pentagraph system. I really think that would help because so the pentagraph system would probably be around $3,000, about $1,500 for the system, and another $1,500 in materials and cranes and stuff to get everything off the floor, wiring. The reason that is, it would effectively make the studio bigger, and it is always nice to have a bigger studio and make setup and tear down a lot easier. And probably a light box for the overhead soft lighting, because in every video you're gonna need overhead light no matter what, and that's something I just want to just keep there. But I just recently got a slider that is so nice. It's carbon fiber, it's super smooth, it's really nice. It also cost the part, which was very expensive. Let's see here, let me take a look at live chat. New England Crypto, yep, LinkedIn's own channel, or yep, Soul7, thank you for linking the channel. Soul7 says, Creating Space, I don't know your channel, Addy. Yeah, Creating Space, why don't you link your own channel if you can? Alright guys, so that's going to be it for tonight. Just let me know in the Discord. I'm going to go there now and play some video games. So again guys, thank you for joining the TekShinji Tek Torrent Podcast. Remember, this is episode 23 of the year. We'll see you next week in the same bad time, same bad channel. But before I leave, I just wanted to make sure that everyone realizes that, well, if you didn't like this video, if you didn't like this live stream, try watching it back at half speed because you might have missed something. Also, if you have evil intentions, no, I'm not going to get into it. But, watch it at half speed and you might get something that you missed. Well, guys, we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.